Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan, and Miyazaki Mansai here. Happy New Year to you all. I know there's been some tragic news, unfortunately. Huge earthquakes have been hitting Japan again and again. I think over 30 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. Very unfortunate, very sad. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who checked in, commented me on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube as well to make sure I was okay. Me and family, fortunately, are very, very safe. Some of my friends further up north, I think it's just north of Tokyo. I've been messaging them as well to make sure that they're okay. Fortunately, everyone seems to be okay, but some of the males have had to join the local firefighting squads and emergency rescue services just to, help remove the rubble, help make sure the elderly have their food and resources as well. So everyone, ganbare ne, minasan, queskete ne, take care. I really, really appreciate it once again from bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Taking the time to consider our well-being is always very, very kind gesture. And with the earthquake things in mind as well, the new house that we're building, hopefully ready by halfway point this year, we've made sure it's absolutely bulletproof in terms of earthquakes and tsunamis and resistance as well. It's actually like a little castle on a perched on this kind of concrete slab. It's a really nice estate, really nice area as well. So looking forward to that being built as well. Absolutely new beginning for us in 2024. But yeah, let's get on with the show. New Year's is a good time for spending time with family and relaxing over the New Year's Christmas festive period. Liverpool,
Japan.
Yeah. And I spent a lot of time with the family. Therefore, the video yesterday was only a short video. However, I got the lineup spot on, right? And I almost got the score spot on 3-1 as well. But when they scored against the corner, against the run of play, yeah, I fooled my score predictions, but it was a really, really good performance. There's many, many things I want to talk about. But Wataru Endo, he's the one that inspired the channel's creation. My goodness, what a send-off to the Asia Cup. He was absolutely dominant in midfield. I tell you what, Endo is holding Liverpool's whole midfield together. It's not a surprise that Curtis Jones is really thriving with Captain Endo, Emperor Endo behind him, holding the line, holding the formation, protecting against the breaks, giving Curtis Jones the freedom to really roam around and do his damage. Curtis Jones was outstanding as well. Szoboszlai, you may call him a bit off colour at the moment. He suffered a hamstring injury, very unfortunate. However, he's been running to the ground, he's been tracking, running. His off-the-ball work has been monstrous. It's something you don't appear to see, but it's very noticeable when, for example, Gravenberch comes on for Szoboszlai or the like, right? Szoboszlai really covers the ground, allows Trent to roam and create and do his thing. I have lots and lots of video ideas for this coming year. One of them will be the top 5 players that Klopp needs to keep his eye on. The top Japanese players I'm talking about. And in the New Year's sales, which is the biggest sales in Japan, look up for Fukubukuro, by the way. That is a lucky bag sales. I'm going to do a video soon on my main channel, the Miyazaki Man. But I picked up this shirt right here. Kamada, 15. Is he one of the ones that Klopp should sign? Probably not. Only a sub for Lazio. However, it's down to below 2,000 yen. That's what, 14 quid for a proper shirt. Not bad. I'm also going to do a full feature video on what Liverpool need to do in the January transfer window in terms of tactical shifts and how to make up for the loss of Salah and Endo as well. The tactical formations and jigging that we need to do. I'm going to be making that video this week. Just back to the office today. Good things come to those who wait. In terms of growing the Liverpool fan in Japan community and channel, my goodness, we have really some of the most intelligent fans and interactions ever. I think it's a more mature audience, right? People who really understand the game of football, really understand and dissect what is needed for our team, Liverpool FC, to beat the opposition on any given day. What the players need to do on and off the ball, the tactical insight, and also the background into how the squad selection is going to be formulated. It's not just, oh, he was rested the game before, he comes in for this game. It's not about that. It's about winning. Winning is everything, and the points tell the difference, tell the story of the season, and Liverpool on top on merit. And speaking of on merit, we're up to 900 subscribers now. My goodness, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. All the likes and all of the comments, all the likes and all the comments really tell the YouTube algorithm that this is the stuff that people need to see. All the Liverpool fans need to see this kind of comment, joining the community, joining in the interactions, and therefore I can't thank you enough. Absolutely. Arigato, domo, arigato gozaimasu. But this year we're going big. We end the year with 900 subscribers in 3 months. I started in October, I think. Yeah, it was October, around my birthday. But let's times it by 10. End the year, let's get in for around 9,000. Can we do it? Who knows? Let's give it a try. Ganbarimasu. Ganbate, like Wataru Endo-sama. But he's more of a casual. Okay, so let's get into it. Why did I choose Luis Diaz over Cody Gakpo, Nunez combining well for the opener last week? Well, Luis Diaz needs to play his way into form, and the way that Newcastle play in the low block and the way he's set up, I think Luis Diaz would have really, really fancied having a run at that backline. And it proved time and time again, he's a dirtball. He went straight in. This is what I want to see Lucho Diaz do. He didn't do enough of this since he came back from the knee injury. Is basically driving straight at the heart of the defender, not trying to beat him with skill, beating him with a jinx and a little shoulder divots and turns and driving in, even the ricochets, get the ball and shoot. He should have finished that better, a bit more composure. He just swiped at it, hit it first time. But that's what I want to see, because he has that South American flair and vibe. He has the skills, he has the acumen to do it in that position, but he's getting a bit predictable, always cutting in, looking for a shooting chance or playing it square, and then they reformulate and it's the next phase of play. However, when he drives straight at the defender, one of three things can happen. He beats the defender tackles him clean, or it's a junk 50-50 clash, and therefore street ball mentality, eyes on the prize. That's when the street balling vibe comes into play. That's what Darwin Núñez needs to do as well. He's got that physical acumen, that kind of beast in him, that hunger, that passion. Actually, speaking of which, Blue Lock anime in Japan is fantastic. I've nearly finished season 1 now. There's stuff in that anime about finding the world's best striker, actually creating the world's best striker, making the situations in an ironclad dome, a tower defense kind of thing, where you need to get out of it by proving you're the best striker with the best ego. Darwin Núñez needs to learn a few things from Blue Lock. I'm going to make an episode on that as well. That's really, really going to be fun, because Darwin Núñez is probably trying to be too precise, spin it right in the corner, pick his spot, hit it in the spot, make good contact with the ball, when actually play the percentages. If the ball is on target, even if it's not right in the corner of the better shots, the keeper might fumble it. You might have a ricochet, a deflection. It might go through the keeper. The keeper might spill it. At least it gives you the options to carry on the next phase of play and hopefully get a goal. As soon as you hit it wide or against the post or skied over the bar, for example, you lose the opportunity for the next phase of play to try to get the goal, because the ball is no longer in the area and you have to reset and off you go again. So sometimes hit it with power. Sometimes hit with extra bend, put it on target, glance it slightly, go right through the ball. Just make sure you get it on target and make the keeper work. That is absolutely essential, because luck is in love with hard work, and the more times you try, the more times you get in the right position, and the more times you hit on target, the more goals. He does everything else except always get the ball on target. When it is on target, it's too close to the keeper. Maybe he's hitting it too clean, maybe trying too hard. Try to skim it, try to get it off the fringe, off the forehead, off the ebi sushi head. Swish. But this match also gave us a clear example of the Mo Salah effect. Now, I call this the Mo Salah effect. Some players have earned their standing in world football. Ronaldo, Messi, even people like Ibrahimovic, right? They've earned their standing in world football. Baresi, Maldini. Just their name and the fact that they exist on a pitch causes you to think a different thing. He's a world-class player. He's done it in the past. He always gets high numbers. He can now assist this season. He's a threat, one of the best right wingers in the world. Even Jaron Bowen was like, Mo Salah, clearly the best. Same position, left foot. He would have been a good replacement, but 7-year contract or something. So it's going to be hard to get him. Expensive. Very good player, though. I'll put him in a fantasy football team. Salah off the AFCON, and Endo as well, Asia Cup. Anyway, I digress. Mo Salah, the fact that he's on the pitch, he's always going to be a threat. This is why Klopp and the coaching staff trust him, even in a single solo striker position where we need a goal, we need a breakthrough, because he is a big game player, big game temperament. He knows little tricks, little habits, little instinctive stuff to try to make the opposition work. Sometimes it doesn't come off him, but when it does, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, there's a single ball that I've been seeing played a lot more by loads of teams in the Premier League, but Liverpool are probably, alongside Man City, the best at this particular ball. When you're cutting in from the right wing, let's take the right wing for example, you can do it on the left as well, sliding it on the side of the centre-back for your striker to do a diagonal run, beating the offside trap. Now the striker will always be able to beat the offside trap here, because Salah is on his right, the ball is on his right, you can see him. The centre defender is on the right as well, which means you can never be in front of the centre defender, because you're not looking to go in and behind over the top, you're just looking to go on the diagonal, in the blind side of the defender when Salah plays the ball. The defender can't cover that because he'll keep everyone on side. He can't commit to that ball because Salah can cut inside, which is his favourite position. So as soon as Salah gets half a space and sees the striking position to make that run, he plays the ball in behind. This diagonal run runs over the ball. Now someone like me, you need a touch to control it and hit across. But these are elite players with absolute out of this world agility and not hand-eye coordination, foot-eye coordination. So you run onto the ball, position yourself to scoop the ball back in, but you also have to have a glance and know instinctually where your player is going to be. So this is where the chemistry, rapport, instinct, ego comes in. You've got to understand that you get to the ball first, you've got to deliver a good ball. Can you take the touch? Do you whip it in? Do you hit it hard? Do you dink it? You got to know what to do in that position, because that is a goal scoring position and a position of threat, because now you've penetrated the back line of the opposition and now it's in panic mode. They're going to act on instinct because there's no time to react or formulate a plan or have a close-knit unit. So that is a situation that I love to see, and that's the one where we've got Jota in behind as well. Jota squared it to Curtis Jones, tap in. Curtis Jones in the right place, you practice on it in training ground. Salah to Jota. Jota is ideal for that position because he can smell it. He can smell the opportunity, where to run. It's called a blindside run. It's so obvious, but it's actually a really difficult art to master. It's got to be just like that. The moment he plays the ball is the moment you got to run, and the moment the defender can't see you because he's got to keep his eye on the ball and keep his eye on Salah. This is similar to driving, right? You always have the blind spot. So in that blind spot is the most dangerous position because you can't react and you can't deal with it and you can't see it. And it's the same in football. But you have to have that chemistry and that connection and the instinct, the technique and the precision to make it all work. Unfortunately for us, we did. As soon as we got the momentum back, 3-1, that was a score I predicted. Yeah, we did concede. We conceded the header, but it can happen. Sven Botman, the ball missed the first 2 jumpers, right? And Big Botman gambled. You create your own luck. He created that luck by jumping before anyone else. I think he was in front of Kanate. Planted the header in. Alisson, no chance. Nothing can do about that. Can Alisson come to claim it? It's hard because the ball, I think, is curving away. Was it Almiron? Almiron chipping it in there. As soon as it misses the first 2 defenders, anything can happen. And if you gamble with a jump in the air, as Botman did, and he buries it, it was a good goal. Okay, 3-2. But we limited Newcastle's chances. They were quite clinical. I think they scored like 2 out of 3, something like that, right? And the reason behind that, Wataru Endo. Wataru Endo-sama has given everyone confidence and a platform to play because, think about this, it's not just the personnel on the pitch, it's the shape. Now what Endo is really, really good at is filling the pockets of most threat and diverting the ball into an area of lesser threat, which allows other players to get in position. And as you minimize the threat, you begin to trap, congest them, and try to turn over the ball. They get desperate and either play the ball around again, in which case the danger's gone. You can set up again. If they play a low chance, low opportunity ball, you get the ball turnover and they're out of position and you can break, especially for the ones who have come to support the person on the ball as well. So this is why I think Liverpool defensively as a unit really, really, really benefited from Wataru Endo. And he is the one that will lunge in to get that first toe on the ball, to get that nick, to get that touch. And as a midfielder, when you know you've got someone snapping at you right there, you know your first touch has got to be on point. You know you've got to receive the right kind of ball with backspin, with pace, ball to feet, that kind of thing. You know he's going to come right at you, so put something in your mind straight away. McAllister is a different type of player, but an effective 6 as well. What you saw from McAllister was a vision and able to dictate from deep, play the 1-2s, the little passes, get into position. He's always free. And did you notice something with McAllister? Something very, very interesting. Newcastle didn't press McAllister. When McAllister got the ball, even though Newcastle were behind, they thought it's not worth it, because unless you've got a coordinated press against a roaming, deep lying playmaker, they're just going to outsmart you, outmove you, move you around and shuffle you out of position. So it almost did a 3/4 press, let McAllister have it, just limit his options to pass the ball. But as you know, when you do turn over the ball in a deep position, Newcastle out position, that ball through to Jota, my goodness, absolutely amazing. I don't know what Shearer and the rest are crying and moaning about. That was perfect. And Jota rounded the keeper. I still fancy Jota would have finished it because Jota's got a lot of composure. He wouldn't have just swiped with the left foot. He might have dribbled, taken it back, laid it off for someone to smash it. But as soon as you feel the touch, you've got to take him down. I think it's double jeopardy or something, right? So Dubravka couldn't get a red card there, get the penalty. Salah changed his boots. He's got a winning mentality. He didn't want that thought to linger on his mind that those boots missed the penalty, and he didn't have a great first half, but second half he turned it on, and statistically amazing. Was it 16 goals, 8 assists? Correct me if I'm wrong, it's something like that, right? We're going to miss out on AFCON, but now there's a chance for Harvey Elliott to shine. Elliott has been showing in recent weeks that he is a big game player. Szoboszlai could have been an option for the right wing, but he's done his hammy in. Hopefully it's not a severe one, so not out too long, but he needs a rest. Anyway, now here's a bit of a conundrum, okay, a bit of a negative. So Gravenberch in the last 3 weeks hasn't really looked like a player who can make that huge impact and really take the game by scruff of the neck, because opposition are sitting off him, allowing him space, giving him time to think, and he doesn't quite know the patterns of play to break through when he's got time on the ball and space on the ball, because they're envisaging him doing a sloppy pass or giving it away or choosing the wrong option. So what Gravenberch needs to do is up the tempo and play the ball, be the extra man in midfield when they're staying off you, to receive the ball, give the ball, receive the ball, give the ball, and try to move the opposition out of place so that players who have already created that pattern of play can break through the lines. I feel with Gravenberch, one of the things that we really, really lack when he's on the pitch is off the ball shape. Now he likes to roam, likes to get the ball in position, he likes to play, he really likes the ball, likes to receive the ball, he's happy to receive the ball. But the off the ball press, sometimes he goes when he shouldn't go and stays when he should go, right? And this comes with experience, it comes with time. Gravenberch and Endo did not have a full pre-season with Liverpool, which is why it's super impressive that Endo has already cemented himself as probably the most important Liverpool midfielder of the last few months. There, I said it. He has been one of the outstanding defensive midfield transfers in all of Europe, in all of the world, in fact. And people who are calling for Andre Trindade, my goodness. Yeah, we'll get to that in another video. But the adaptation period that he would need coming from that league, from Fluminense, after Copa Libertadores, after a long season, in a position where you cannot afford to lose the ball, building the chemistry and relationship with other teammates and partners. Klopp would not trust him as a starting six in any big game. In fact, he might get cameo appearances here and there. It's kind of like an Arthur Melo. Not what we need right now. However, there are players that we need in January transfer window. I will get to that video. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see my thoughts on that as well. But let's go to the forward line, okay? I wanted Lucho Diaz in because he needed to play his way into form. Darwin Núñez will always be a threat regardless if he misses the chances. I mentioned what he needs to do to kind of work on his mentality and focus, and don't always have to hit the ball so clean or desperate to get in position or rush it. Sometimes scuffing it like Gakpo did, right? The studs on the ball, bounce, beat Dubravka. I'm sure that's not the first time Dubravka's had a fantastic game against us. I seem to remember Dubravka having an outstanding game against us before. My former colleague at a former workplace, same country, Slovakia, didn't like her so much, to be honest. Anyway, I digress again. She was just really cocky, really arrogant. Anyway, Dubravka always seems to turn up against us, saying he was the man of the match, and he still conceded 4 goals. Shows our attacking intent. It was one of the Premier League's record stats or something. We had the most goal expectancies per game and huge number of shots. And at Anfield, with the crowd roaring, Jurgen Klopp losing his wedding ring, I don't know, contacts fell out or something as well. It's raining, the ball is slippy, it's a bit muggy, but game-winning mentality, start of the year against a tough test where it was 0-0 at half-time and people thinking, oh no, here we go again. They equalise at 1-1 with a clinical counter-strike because Isak is very good at those composed finishes as well. Anthony Gordon being a menace. But Trent, this is why you play Trent. His attacking threat and the fact that he's on the pitch is that persona and that aura of him playmaking, him dictating, him doing a world-class sport means that the opposition have to account for his attacking threat, because you cannot just go to him, mark him, and try to snuff him out of the game, which is why you don't play him in midfield. People, you don't play him as a starting midfielder, because then you can snuff him, you can chuck someone on him, you can sit someone on him, take away his space, make him play back to turn, to goal, half turn, all that kind of stuff, which is not his strength, right? They have to account for not just Trent being on the pitch, but also the positions where Trent can access with the ball. This is something that not many teams have to set up against, unless you're against a Pirlo, an Alonso, Edison, for example, Mihailovic, Juninho Pernambucano, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Unless you're against this type of player, you don't always have to mark the spaces because other players can't access that space. That through ball over the top to Salah, that switch all the way to left on a right or left foot, that daisy cutter pass but with backspin on it through the lines, over the top to Núñez. You have to cover so many different angles. It's like chess. You know what? Trent is a bishop. He is a bishop on the pitch because he can do the long diagonals in every direction, in and behind the lines. My goodness, bishops are crazy. Bishops are better than knights. I love my bishops. I sacrifice the knights all the time. Now, our midfield may be losing something from Endo, but we gained something else in McAllister. McAllister does offer different qualities from Endo, and they're both fantastic, even in that 6 role. I will emphasize that again, but McAllister likes to float more between an 8, a 6, and sometimes pocket 10 as well. We lost Szoboszlai as well, but Thiago Alcantara, for me, could make or break our season because he is so good and so experienced, and he does not take time to play his way back into form because his qualities and his attributes allow him the time to play his game. He's just so silky. He's a maestro. He just needs to stay fit for long enough for Endo to come back. That is a minimum requirement, and that will allow players like Bajcetic and other players to really contribute to this season as well. Gravenberch hopefully will get there as well. We have players onside. Bobby Clark is an option for the cup games, for example. Matip is out injured, which means Gomez has to be that third centre back. However, he also has to cover left back, a starting left back, because Tsimikas and Robbo is injured. We recalled our player from Aberdeen as well, but keep in mind for the January transfer window we now have options to facilitate to back up our squad, to make our squad stronger, but it has to be the right type of player and the right profile. As Klopp said so clearly, and people need to get this in their minds as well, what team will want to lose a world-class centre-half in January? Why? What reason? What can they do with that money? What can you even do with that money? Yeah. So, we're going to look at the right type of player and right type of profile for Liverpool as well. And also, I'm going to talk about replacements for Mo Salah in the future as well. I want Salah to sign a new deal. This kind of player is once in a lifetime player, perhaps. Actually, life is long. You might get another one like him. I hope so. I really hope we get 2 or 3. Anyway, this kind of player is an icon. He sets the standards in training, arrives earliest, leaves latest, diet, hygiene, reputation, skill, aura, still contributing goals and stats. Like Messi, evolved into a kind of playmaker as well. All he's missing is the free kick that Messi's got. Maradona taught Messi that technique. Messi could not hit a free kick for shears at the start of his career, but Maradona taught him how to loop the ball, go through the ball with curve and swoop, and wow, Messi's been on fire with that lately. Yeah, I've talked quite a lot about this particular match, but I'm really, really excited about the patterns of play, because it's not just one-dimensional. Lucho cutting inside, Salah cutting inside, no overlap, no out wide. We've actually been brave enough to push 2 players into the advanced 10 position. Even Jota slotted back into the advanced 10 position. Curtis Jones roamed into the advanced 10 position. The 10 position is the most finicky, muddled, confused position at the moment in the game of football because of the way the game is involved. But if you're brave enough to take the ball in that position by driving the ball there or running into there, expecting the ball to be fizzed in first time, receiving it and doing something with it, good things will happen to you, and good things happen to Liverpool, because Liverpool stuck to the game plan that Jurgen Klopp envisaged from the start. They never let the heads drop. They never got desperate. They never looked to try to hit long balls, turn over the ball, hit the early ball. They were patient, methodical, played their game. This is a tactic as well. As the game wears on, wearing down the opposition is a real thing. It's in boxing, where you hit them with body punches, right? Draining the stamina. You're protecting the head. You don't want that KO. You don't want a knockout. You hit again and you knock again on the door again and again, and not always the same opportunity. Different types of opportunities and different types of chances. And when you really make that breakthrough, it absolutely demoralizes the opposition. That Curtis Jones goal was huge because they were scythed clean through and cut apart in that instant. Our defense is really formidable. We view as a striker, see Virgil van Dijk and Konate and Gomez. Even Trent's fairly decent defensive duties, as long as he's in position in line as well. When you see Konate and Virgil van Dijk and think that you have to try to beat them for physicality, for pace, off the ball runs, even when you make a blind run they can recover. They got long limbs, long legs, they're pretty strong on both feet as well. And when you've done all of that, Alisson Becker is in front of you. My goodness, Alisson Becker. That man is beautiful. That's what needs to be said about him. Yes, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Onwards and upwards. Liverpool fan in Japan. Let's have a great 2024. I'm going to make loads of videos this year, baby. It's going to be great fun. I've tidied up my room a lot as well. I've set up a desk that I hope to be a little kind of office studio kind of thing. Still working on it, but let's do it here for now because I want to churn the videos out. Make sure you guys enjoy as well. Like the video. Once again, helps beat the algorithm. The community is coming, baby. We're going to do live streams very soon. Hopefully the times are forgiving and very nice as well. Looking forward to chatting to you guys for the rest of the season as well. Let's enjoy the season, man. Liverpool are back on our perch. We've got a great team, the best manager, likeable lads. They're giving it their all. I love this team. That link to Mbappe. Woohoo. Okay. Yeah, here we go again. Let's see what happens. Until next time, Miyazaki Man Ichiban. Ciao.